Okay, this is what our guy looks like, and I just immediately started again. I don't know if I'm gonna include that clip. I might like edit it in using OpenShot. But wow, that was nutty that the game crashed as soon as, like, right after I said, I hope there's no weird errors from me stopping and starting the recording that quick. Like, wow, dude. Okay. Anyway, assuming that it's recording, that there's no weird stuff going on. I verified files too, so. Okay, see, now I'm gonna show off that whenever you come back to the game, right? Look at how he's level 3 over there. And how he's walking around, shambling around, being all menacing again. Like, everything's respawned. Like, if we go down here to the cellar, these will be leveled up. Or is it cleared because... Oh, it's cleared because we cleared the dungeon. That's kind of cool. I forgot that that was, like, a thing that was added to the game. Or, you know what I mean. I don't know if it was added to the game, but it's like a thing. I've been recording for a while. It's a thing that the game does. That there's world state updates. Now the shop is updated. Oh, crud. We didn't get to buy the gun. I guess it saved right after I finished doing the bank stuff. Well, okay. Okay. 4,000 for plus 98%, plus 98 damage. That's not bad. 41% physical damage converted to aether damage. Ha. Yeah, okay. Wow, we actually, I kind of missed the plus 50% bleed, but that's really good still. Plus 98 damage, plus 98 damage per second. So here's something worth looking at. That's 21 to 170, right? And this is 49 to 91. So you get a better minimum and just a kind of crappier maximum with the crossbows, it looks like. But, I mean, the maximum, you always want to bet on the high roll, right? Like, you don't bet on the low roll, you bet on the high roll. And besides, you get a average, you get a better average or something like that, yeah? Something. That really stinks because we had cleaned out the entire path up there. So what we're really having to deal with now is the entire area being respawned. That stinks. I mean, on the one hand, that's more XP, but that doesn't really matter because we're going to be on, you know, par. If that makes sense, we gotta take out that. Oh, crud. About dead. Oh, too many guys with counterplay for gun combat. This is why it's important to have enough damage for this area. It's because if you could just turn all of the guys that the healers, that the witch doctors are trying to rev up, like, you can just turn them all into chunky salsa. You don't have to worry about the healers as much. And yeah, we're doing some real damage now with this gun. But our enemies are going to be doing real damage too, so... Again, veteran, like... I know I've said it enough times, but veteran does not play around. This game by itself doesn't play around once you get out of the... Once you get out of Once you get towards the end of Act 1 and the start of Act 2, the game starts slowly slipping the gloves off, like millimeter by millimeter, and then once you get into Act 3, it starts really taking them off, and then by Act 4, you kind of get the gist that you gotta, at that point, be ready to deal with whatever's coming your way with good damage, decent resistances, and a knowledge of how to do footwork. Yeah. That's grim. Vladox the Bloodletter again. Alright. Kinda hoping I can just take this guy out. Now the reason why you want to clear out these areas is kinda obvious, but I'll state it anyway. You don't ever really want to leave yourself without at least a region, it's like cutting with a machete through thick underbrush. You don't want to leave yourself without a path. Like you want to be able to have an area where you can fall back to. Because without that, if you just try to run blindly ahead, you will get, especially on veteran, you will get destroyed. Like, there's just no point in doing that. Like, there's two options. You either get destroyed, or you end up having to stop and clear out all the enemies in the immediate area anyway, thus accomplishing that goal. And, like, you might as well just do that bit by bit and take the XP rewards from doing that and the possible item rewards as you do that along the way, right? Like, realistically, there's no reason not to. Okay, here's hoping that they don't have... Okay, it looks like they don't have a witch doctor, but they got a lot of dudes with guns, and I'm not happy about that. I'm not taking that tower shield because it's not going to be worth the money for the amount of inventory space it's going to take up. Like, you know, the amount of money I'd get from selling it is just not worth it. Probably wasn't a good time to open the map, but those things didn't notice me, so it's all good. Now, how did those guys notice me from all the way over there? That's the real head scratcher. Oof. That's the cave that we went in, I think. I want to say it is. Kind of want to make progress, like specifically Devotion Shrine progress. I want to get that lizard as on, like I want to hurry up and get to the Kraken. Alright, so we were supposed to find a guy or two in the bouldering fields. If you remember. I mean, you know, it says who on the right-hand side. Like, we specifically were supposed to be looking for them. And they're on the map. Actually. Over here. I'm kind of wondering if I should... Yeah, maybe come back after a level up, right? Well, we have a level up. Crud, alright. 1, 2, 3. At least we get a damage bonus now, 25%. Oh, I got to kill this, because this is going to be a nightmare if I don't get this out of the arena. Okay, good. I mean, these guys are already going to be a pain to deal with, but at least they can be a pain to deal with without infinite, literally infinite adds. Now here we want our health. Well, you know, I want my health, my guy's health, to drop below 75%. Now they're going to summon some guys, and this dude over here needs to be taken out. They're going to summon guys. That's kind of a gimmick that these kinds of enemies have commonly throughout the game. Go ahead and back up, let the potion recharge so that we can have a good potion economy going. To hopefully kind of like face tank this guy for a minute. I think that 25% damage boost has made a good difference. Well, it looks like now that that guy's done, this other should be sort of a pushover as long as we don't get within the range of those massive grubby claws. Yeah, pal, I'm not letting you get me with that again, if I can help it. Actually, yeah, go ahead and give me a hug. Give me that damage boost. Okay, my ear's itchy. With that settled, keep on plinging away, plinging away at this fella. There's our activation again for that 25% damage boost. I think it's 25. That's a pretty good chunk of XP for where we're at. Hopefully the bigger XP reward will be from turning in the quest. I want to hope. It's a mercy that there weren't a bunch of a certain kind of enemy that we'll be seeing up ahead. My other guy, the pistol dude, he actually had a bunch of a certain kind of enemy show up here that I think, maybe I'm confusing it with a different spot, but I'm pretty sure it was that fight. And it's definitely an enemy you don't want to deal with those kind of guys around and veterans, so I'll call out that enemy when we get there. But yeah, it's definitely not something you want to be messing with if you don't have to. Yeah, nothing special, but we'll sell this junk while we're here, because there's no sense in holding on to it. Otherwise, plus 10% cunning. That's kind of, you know, that's not that bad. That'd be 25 cunning for us. But, Alright, so we get 3 scrap. That's what the guy gave us. 1200 iron. It's not bad. Yeah, so that's all we'll have from that guy as far as quests go. But, I mean, that was a decent amount of experience. That was a decent reward. I mean, 3 scrap might not seem like that's a very good reward, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not great, but, you know. It is a reward worthy of notice. Those guys look way more intimidating than they actually are, as you can probably tell by how I handle them. Now the thing is, where we need to go is, very simply put, it's just up here. Like, just generally going up. We don't really need to go towards the center, I don't think. I forget how often the store rotates its stock in this game, but I know that the stores do. Might be worth checking out. See, this is another example of like the benefit of ranged weaponry, that you can take advantage of height like this to just snipe, like actually snipe from a ways off. It's pretty effective, yeah. There's not a whole lot of... There's a decent amount, but there's not like a lot of terrain in the game where you can do that. But where you can, it's really cool and it's really satisfying. It's another reason I like this game. Like, there's just a lot of little quality of life, cool, not really hidden, but like quirky bits to it that are just so good. I mean, again, like the chunky salsa feeling of the rifle. See, that's our elemental defenses really storing us up there. That probably would do a ton more damage otherwise. Okay, pal, come on. Just try to potion economy him to death. Just regen tank. I think we'll get it. There we go. Okay. That's that, I guess.
Can't do that yet.
The XP was the biggest reward there. Like, I mean, I'll reiterate, there's not really any reason for us to... Ooh, that's a big spider. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that that's a bigger spider. I don't like the larger... And it's called the leaper, huh?
That skill's not ready.
Yeah, let me see if I can get all the other spiders dead. Oh, no. Okay. Change your mind, huh? Queenie. Just harass her on her way back. Not really a leaper so much as a scuttler. A lot of scuttling, not a lot of leaping. Okay, level 17. Darn it, man. Only 10 additional points, huh? Well, the problem is that it's 25 additional points to get to where I want with Soldier, and that is 9 levels. That's gonna be a while, folks. Even with the plus 13% XP, that's gonna be a while. That plus 70% to all damage is so tempting, but again... That, if I was going to dump 3 points, that would probably be it. So let's see, that's 9 levels to be able to reach that. And then for Arcanist, it's another 9 levels, so we're looking at 18. So level 35. If I put no other points into anything, it'd take to level 35 to be able to hit that. Then obviously there's another 10 past that. What that means is that since you get 3 skill points a level until level 50, that means functionally we have 15 free levels, which amounts to 45 points, which is a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, that's a lot. But, and that's worth consideration. But I mean, as you can see, like, skills go up to 10, 16, 12, thereabouts. It's not that many. It's not as many as it sounds like. You know, if I were to dump a level now, and I want to because of how the damage feels, if I were to dump 2 levels, I would want it to be 3 in this and 3 in this so that I have 2 1 in 5 rolls every shot. Because 2 6 in 50 rolls every shot is not doing it. I do want to just put it into the salsa maker, because that 645 internal trauma damage is no joke. But the more I think about it, the more I think, like, the more it's this, sorta, the more that makes sense. Or just this, for that matter. The more it's also just like ramp into elemental balance. But, okay, how far off is this? 17 additional points? That's 6 levels. I think I'm going to try. It just stinks because this is a legit issue. This is a legit problem where I'm at a point where my damage is kind of not really doing what I needed to do. But if I just wait, I'll get way better damage way sooner. If you know what I do about the game, there's a reason why I'm hesitating so hard, because we're going to be coming up on a spot where I'm going to need the ability to dump into, like, squad tactics and dump into, like, elemental balance, right? And overload. Yeah, and decorated soldier, you know, whatever. I think that's actually it. It's just making sure that that turns into a 100% chance to pass through enemies and a catastrophic amount of bleeding damage. I think that activates every cadence activation, so every 3rd attack. I think that's what the actual answer for now is to just... Yeah. I think so. I want to say it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. I just want to make salsa. that's all. I'm just a man who loves salsa. Loves me some El Paso.
Well, I'll be a living person.
Yeah, this isn't fully voice acted. But he's surprised about meeting a living person. He's been stranded out here since Burwitch fell, fortified himself on the island, cooking whatever he could. He says he's a cook. We'll give him a rift gate. We'll see him in Devil's Crossing. Now, the thing is, he was camped, like, right next to some mobs. Yeah, okay. I feel like that was the right decision. I'm going to increase it by 1 more point to make sure that I'm not married to... What piece of gear is it? This. Like, I'm not married to this ring. But I appreciate that that ring's doing a lot. I was kind of hoping that I could work out in my head a better solution, because it's not really that much of a solution since it's still reliant on every 3rd shot, rather than being a, like, look at, if the passive 20% on, like, 20% chance to activate stuff, that's a dice roll every attack. So getting that percentage up means there's a higher percentage of having a string of attacks that may or may not be cadence attacks doing that stuff. And yeah, it's less than a coin flip, maybe. I mean, stacked dice is a very different kind of probability equation. And I say the word equation, not that I am great at math. I am not good at math. Holy crap, that's a big spider. That summons little spiders. Okay. That has a massive AoE. Hold on, my ears itchy. Okay. And there's another massive spider. There's 2 massive spiders over there. What is this? Okay, well, again, my ears itchy. But wow, alright. So, we're in massive Spiderland. Well, at least the damage is noticeable. Like, the damage difference is noticeable. Ugh! That acid! It's the little guys shooting at me that are doing the real damage here. Getting bit ain't that big of a deal, it's little barbs being shot. You'll notice there's an enemy over here that they were fighting. That's like a real thing in the game. It's not infighting because they're different factions, understand, but like it's still enemy fighting. It's just 2 enemies that hate each other way more than they hate you, kind of deal. Okay, well... I don't think there's anything else in the Moldering Fields that's worth caring about. I forget what's down here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like worthwhile down here. Yeah, this is a flooded cellar, alright. Yo, that's a ton of damage. I don't know where I took that damage from, but glad I noticed before I got killed. Goodness. I mean, I don't expect there to be anything other than XP down here, but that said, still worth doing, showing off, I guess. Not again. Again, not that I'm doing a completionist run. It's just I figure it's worth showing off, I guess. Also, just to see where this leads, I forget where, if anywhere, this goes. Because typically, there's a way in and a way out, right? So I'm kind of intrigued to see if this is a shortcut or
That skill's not
no.
ready.
Let's just say I have my doubts. I was trying to aim at the guy in the middle there, by the way. For whatever that's worth. Now, there was another path. I'm not interested in taking it. And also, if you could tell by that rock, it's blocked off. So there's no sense in caring about that. But this is not really a shortcut, but I'll take it. I would not call this a shortcut. And this is another must battle the enemies to unlock the thing. To unlock the checkpoint, shortcut, whatever, not shortcut, checkpoint, teleporter, whatever. Wave 2. May it be as easy to take down as the first. Yeah, let's go ahead and stack those damage buffs. That is the enemy type that I was talking about. These stupid eyeball things. You didn't really get a good look at it. Oh, crud! I didn't realize there'd be 3 hero units. Okay. That guy's level 20. Okay. This suddenly became a real problem. Okay. I need to get out of here.
Can't do that yet.
Okay, good. Ideally, I would be able to focus on one. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. I can't tank that. I can't stand still and get in these guys' mitts, or I'm gonna get owned. That is not an option. Okay, that one's down. Let's focus on the chill one. No, he's got. Yeah, I guess I need to focus on him because he's the most dangerous. Though the one with the less life would be. The The cold one's more dangerous because if he hits me with that cold aura and I get in his icy mitts, that's probably curtains for my dude. I'm holding down right on the left analog stick.
That skill's not
Oof. It was still aiming at the other guy for whatever reason. Okay. Don't want to get hit by that. Typically those wave attacks do a lot of damage. Okay. Hey, I don't know if that showed up, but I got an achievement, securing Burwich, for clearing that on veteran. That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that was a thing that happened. Oh goodness gracious! Let's sell off all our junk. Plus 17% bleeding damage is pretty good for us. 91 armor. It's not really that great. The difference between fire and burn is that burn is it's the status effect of the fire element that does damage over time. Okay. All right.
See you around.
Whew, goodness.
Have you found a rift gate? Good work. While you were gone,
Sorry that I skipped that. I didn't mean to.
and I think we have our target. As you are acutely aware, ethereals can possess humans and bend them to their will. I always had my suspicions, but now I have little doubt. The former warden of this prison is possessed. Well before the Grim Dawn, in fact.
Let's close that.
There have been countless holes in the prison records, prisoners just disappearing, never to be seen again. The warden's personal logs paint a more complete picture. He's been transferring prisoners into a secret facility underneath his mansion in Burwich Village for years. What for, I don't know, but I'm sure it wasn't for rehabilitation. There are also several mentions of ethereals and rift gates. I need you to find this man, or whatever he has become. Warden Krieg owned a mansion in the northern district of Burwich Village. The logs indicate that his facilities can be reached via the cellar. I'm afraid I don't have more to go on, but if we want to strike back at the ethereal power structure in the region, the warden is our prime target.
I will end the warden's life. So the thing is, the curious thing about this is that this quest series is a dead end. But we'll get to that in a moment. Here he thanks us and offers us soup. There's not really anything else going on with that guy for now. There will be later, but not for now. The thing is, we're going to be getting scrap for a very long time, so I'm just keeping it in the inventory, because, like, there's no sense in getting rid of it if it's going to just show up again, right? It's that kind of thing. Okay. So, hopefully we'll get to the warden's cellar. We should by the end of this episode, and that'll close out this session. So in 15 minutes, I think we can do that. Especially if I hot-foot it. Now, for the upcoming... oh, right. I was going to mention that this is a dead end. Like, this quest line basically ends, and where we go on the map is then in the opposite direction. So we leave right, like rightward, out of Devil's Crossing. We end up going leftward out of Devil's Crossing after this, and the rest of the story takes place westward. Like, eastward is, after this, only a consideration... my ear. Eastward is only a consideration after the main story's been... We'll trigger this, much to my probable regret. Okay. Yeah, get him shut up for a minute. Mondrak the Ever-Burning. Well, here's hoping he will shortly be Mondrak the... not returning.
I can't do that yet.
Slithbane. A bit late for that, but alright. And nothing really worth it, but I guess the chest armor's alright. I mean, 6 more armor. I don't think it's really... 18% reduced stun duration might be worth it. Acquired player level 20, yeah. Gunslinger, granted by item. Range dual wielding passive bonus. And gives the ability to do... What? That gives the ability to dual wield ranged weapons? That's obscene. What? You just need this jacket, bro, and you'll learn how to sling guns. It's totally cool. Alright, I'm dumping points into Soldier for now. I want to go ahead and rush. I will absolutely not get there, but I want to rush to Squad Tactics. I'm not going to get there before the big act boss, but
Not ready.
that's who I'm worried about for now. In the immediate is the act boss. If we can't beat him this time, whenever I say this time, I kind of meant the first time. Like the first time we meet him, because we're definitely not meeting him in this session. But whenever we meet him the first time, if he's just not really reasonable to defeat, we'll just go ahead and go into the second act without the quote-unquote permission of the story. And maybe I'll even show off the funny dialogue that happens if you do the second act stuff early. But yeah, it's not gonna be a big deal. If I can't take him on, we could just Riku and go left instead of worrying about it. There's not really many times in this game where you need to grind. Like, the game is generally good about XP and like availability of gear and stuff that you never really need to grind. You just kind of need to, if you're doing your character right, you don't need to grind. You just really need to maybe consider going somewhere else. Right? Like, there's plenty of alternate routes to give at least some measure of, hey, you can go here instead in each act. I think that ends at, like, act... Oh, there's another one of the stupid eyeballs. See there, I was holding up left, like, directly towards those eyeballs, and yet it locked onto the crate first for some damn reason. Well, here's where that elemental resistance is coming in more handy. So the thing about the eyeballs is, of course, that they're a ranged enemy, but some of them can actually spawn adds, which is bad. I think it's the overseers that do that. But since we have peers, it's not that big of a deal. You just shoot them anyway. By proxy, basically. Pretty soon, I think I'm just gonna turn off yellows. Because there's not really a reason to care about yellows, other than like money, and we've got plenty of that. And probably will have plenty of that. Now I know for a fact I have not found the boat, like I've gone past it at some point. If I look at the map, I think I know where it's at actually now. The question of whether or not I want to go there whenever I'm trying to make progress is an entirely valid and separate question of if I want to go there in general. Here's a cold one.
I can't do that yet.
I love that it's just named Cold One. Yeah, okay. This ain't that bad. It looks bad, but it ain't that bad. There's a cave here? Ah! We're leaving immediately. Never mind. Wow. Immediate regret overtook me. That's the wrong way. I seriously want to get to the Warden's Cellar at a minimum before ending this session. And I plan on doing exactly that, but this might run a little long to do so.
I can't do that yet.
Yeah, I know, pal. We're definitely taking like the long way around-ish, but we are being direct also. That's, I'm not used to having this many hero units. I don't know if that's like a veteran thing, but I did not see this many hero units coming through here on my other guy. Oh, so this guy does teleporting, huh? Okay, that's cool. Let me kill off his backup. Okay, pal. It's his mitts that I don't want touching me. I don't really care if he, you know, throws lightning at me or whatever. Is there anything worth caring about here? No. Nah. 132 armor. Now that's interesting, but required spirit 225, huh? Yeah, but it doesn't have anything that actually, none of the additional stats actually are compatible with what my guy is and what he's doing, so it's not really that great. I mean, I know more armor is worth it, but at this point I'm kind of hoping to get some stuff with some actual synergy going on instead of just random junk. Just barrel stuff these fellas in the doorway to try to get to that stellar door. Because if I'm not mistaken, that guy's apprentice should be somewhere in here. Let's go around here for some cover from the needle spitters. Yeah! So much damage. Goodness. This is a very large chest with very large pauldrons in it. Okay, well, I'll wear them just because they have ridiculous amounts of armor. My ear. Well, this isn't like great, but it gives plus damage to a bunch of stuff that's relevant and gives plus 10% elemental resistances, so it's like a side grade. It's not really an upgrade. But we do want to get that guy's apprentice while we're in town. That's bad. I don't like getting shot at. Now these stupid things, if you haven't noticed, they leave behind acid when they die, some of them, which does more damage than I like. Which is like a really, really bad thing when you're a melee character. Not so bad, obviously, when you're ranged. I think this is the wrong cave. 83 armor. Yeah, those aren't really better either. I definitely have to go for a selling trip. You'd be shocked at how much money is actually required on some of those, on some of the things where you're using scrap to... Hold on. I'm just gonna, like, use the mouse and the controller. I'm just mashing X. Yeah, just auto sort. Okay. Now with that done, let's get back to what we were doing. What the heck? That's rude. That is so rude. What triggered that? Was it really leaving and coming back? Like, what the heck? I've never seen that. That is bizarre. Okay. There's another hero unit. Again, I'm not really used to that. Tessalon. Okay, this guy, I vaguely think I remember him, actually. Again, my freaking ear. Ugh. I just don't, again, I don't want him hitting my guy. Do those guys seriously, like, curve that? What the heck? Hold on. My ear just will not stop itching. I guess what happened there is that bounced along the ground. Those, 2 poison balls that were thrown my guy's way. Well, I'm glad that I've almost got this guy done in. Because it's getting a little tiresome. Come on, there we go. Alright. What is that anyway? Pauldrons? Yeah, we're not gonna get better than blue.
Skill's not ready.
Not set, but you know, I was gonna say a blue set because a set of pauldrons, but you get what I mean, like a blue item for that armor slot. We're not gonna get better than that for a while. I mean, blues are obviously a step up from green, which are a step up from yellow, which are a step up from gray. The main thing is that that's a lot of armor. Like, it just is. I was hoping this was the correct seller, and it's not, which is kind of bad. But it's alright. Whatever. Now, that over there is the correct seller. Yeah, it's even got the quest marker on it. That is not good. I have to get that taken out. Okay, good. Oof, nice. Salsa time. Now my other ear's itchy. I'm telling you, man. Like, I tell you, I don't even know why that happens. But hey, whatever. I'm gonna keep trying to roll with it, even though it seems to be happening with increasing frequency. The thing is, I definitely do not want to come through here again. That's one of the reasons why I want to end the session here. Is like I want to get all the important stuff done here. The rest of it is just like minor exploration, and you know, it's like that cellar that we just went through. There's nothing really important to look at or to deal with or do, so the rest of it can be more or less just let to rest. But there's two things here that we gotta do before we can move on, and one of them is go in the cellar underneath this place and rescue that dude's assistant, and the other is opening up this devotion shrine. Which hopefully won't have too difficult a fight associated with it. I cannot wait until I can get the attack speed up from squad tactics, because man, even 10% would be good. There we go. Massacre, huh? Yeah. Look at that damage! Why can't I wear my spalders? Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant, by the way, about the whole looking for the weaknesses in the character build. Like, my guy should definitely be able to equip that already, so, you know. Anyway, since we seem to be safe, go ahead and finish off getting the fox. 120 bleeding damage over 3 seconds, plus 60% bleeding, 6% of attack damage converted to health, plus 10 health regenerated a second. Now that's the good stuff. That feels great. That is progress. By the way, if I were to do a completionist run, my guy would start on normal, and it would not be veteran. I can tell you that for like a fact. If I ever do that run, when and if, that guy will just be on normal difficulty, not veteran. Alright. Let's get down in that cellar. No, don't shoot the painting on the wall, bro. Come on. Why do I have to be facing away from it to go down? Whatever. Whatever. The dank cellar. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'd call it dank. I've seen better cellars.
Can't do that yet.
Don't think it really deserves the title of dank. Just keep the salsa machine turning and burning and churning. We're almost there. Gonna save that meal over there for my guy for after he has to go through all this crud. The thing is, right, about the whole Constitution system, the meals and stuff being around, part of the Constitution system, I think, was made in mind that, you know, you had a finite number of potions, which, as the devs, if I remember right, in the update notes for when they changed the potion system to what it is now, even they basically admitted, like, look, the potion thing, all it really boils down to is that you wait until you can buy, like, you just hoard in the early game until you can buy, like, infinity of them and store them in the loot, like, the storage chest. And then once you get, like, 5 stacks of 99, you never run out anyway, so what the heck is the point? Like, why even bother with that system? Which I get, but, and not that I'm complaining. I much prefer the modern, if you will, in air quotes, potion system, but I do just want to point out that it does make the Constitution system feel a lot more jank. Anyway, this lady's in a ring of salt, which, yeah. Anyway. That's his apprentice found, and then now we could leave and get to the warden's cellar. I don't think this is the way that we came in, but whatever. We're almost at the warden's cellar. Oh, it isn't, but it didn't matter. That's the best.
I can't do that yet.
Yeah, I know, pal. I probably should take that level up before I get up there, huh? Well, too late, I guess. I mean, I could just do it right now, since I'm not, like, here. There. Now I can fight. Sorry, boys, I had to, you know, mess around in menus, you know how it is. Regulations. Okay, buddy, that's cool, but I have a gun. I'll just run away from you for a moment. Now there's Inquisitor Creed's 3rd and 4th entries. I had forgotten that, I guess, the reason why they had Inquisitors was to root out the Chthon cult. But, you know, they didn't really do a good job. And the problem with the Chthon cult and trying to root it out is that the entity that they worship, and this is kind of getting into, again, like talking about it before it's really relevant to the plot, almost. But the entity that they worship, as it's revealed in the notes, essentially calls out to people. Like, there's no way that... And whenever I say call out, it's kind of like how the ethereals possess people. It's less like call out and more in like a, hey, you know, have you ever considered maybe draining people of their blood in a vat? Like, it's not like he just asks them. It's more like a gentle mind, by gentle, you know what I mean, like subtle mind control thing. where it's sort of like like a hypnotic lure, reaches out to people of like weak constitution and slowly drives them into being a puppet of its will, kind of thing. Rather than direct possession, it's more like brainwashing. Basically, it's like brainwashing. So there's not really any way for them to have fully rooted it out. Like, there's no way to, and it makes sense whenever you get into the metaphysics of why. Anyway, first up, the third entry from, no, Warden, I dropped it. First up, the third entry from Creed, rather. That's the full thing, there's no scrolling here. So there you go, you can read that. So Creed came here, right, because he was like, man, I've heard that there's some weird business up with this Krieg guy, and there's all sorts of weird crud being reported here. I should come here as an Inquisitor and sort it out, right? And you'd think that that would be a good idea. And to Creed's credit, like, you know, he did find something. It's not like he didn't. Anyway, so that's Creed's testimony. The third and fourth entries. Slowly scroll down so you can pause it if you want to. But then here's Krieg's journal. We'll sit on this for a second. Where he's just basically, this is all the bad things I ever done .text. You know, like, it's just a journal entry of his maniacal villain monologue. It's so good to be evil. Anyway, yeah, that's his play acting and being Saturday morning cartoon villain. So we're gonna get into his seller, and maybe even his buyer. So we're here. This will be the end of this session. Gonna round it out with going and talking to Bourbon. I thought we could talk to Bourbon. I guess not at this stage. Well, anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in the old bank for whenever we hit level 20. Yeah. Sell this stuff off. Just sell this. I don't really care. Just sell it. Just make sure that none of these are an amulet. I kind of wish they had made all the amulets like a distinctive color, so that you'd know, like, right off the bat, or I don't know, just something. Because I've accidentally put amulets in my bank, thinking that they were the little add-on augmenter things. More times than I would like. Zealot's gauntlets. Mistwalker leggings. Okay, I was just seeing if they were part of the same set. But, well, we're about done here. This has been an extra long episode, and this has been a very long session, but just know that that's how it will normally be. End off by looking at this guy's wares. Okay, well, he normally has the good stuff, but we'll check the other guy's stuff, see if he's got anything spicy. All right, no, he doesn't sell anything. There is one area that we can check, though. Hold on. If you remember, I think it's Whitemire. Yeah, these rovers up here. I'd rather not have to fight you lot if it's all the same to you, yeah. Just couldn't take no for an answer. But he did take no for a 45 ACP.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, let's check to see if this guy's got anything cool. I mean, I didn't expect he would, because like I said, the other guy's sort of the dude who actually has cool stuff. Yeah, well, that stinks. He's not gonna have any armor either. Well, alright. Let's get that rift open. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Anytime you exit the game, you start back at the back at Devil's Crossing anyway. So with that in mind, go ahead and reload the map, since we're going to have to anyway the next time we show up here. See if there's anything in the shop worthwhile. Just from doing that. Nope. All terrible stuff. As you can see, these guys right here are actually defending the town whenever stuff comes close. I guess I could show that off. Why is there a reanimator? Wow, okay. But yeah, I can bring these guys in. Check this out. They should fire on them. Yeah, thank you. That guy's a demolisher or whatever. Demolitionist. But yeah, as you can see, like, they actually do defend the town. Now, to show what's over this way, just in case Krieg is too much to deal with next time, the other way out of town's over here. Now the bridge is broken. It's an allegedly impassable place, and it leads to the Arkovian foothills. It takes 6 scrap and 3,000 iron bits. We'll go ahead and repair it. We're not setting 1 foot across that bridge, and also notice that this side isn't defended. Like, there was no reason to defend it.
That skill's not ready.
Until we repaired the bridge, of course. I'm not sure if they ever put guys there, but like this is the equivalent of their defense, is that they got like 1 guy here. Right, and I guess this fella, Barnabas. Now this takes 25 scrap and 20,000 iron bits to repair. If you're wondering what's on the other end of that bridge, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not really all that much. It's nothing that really is going to excite you for 25 scrap, 20,000 iron bits. But there you go. There's the example there of like how it can take a ton of scrap. We've got nearly the scrap. But we do want to save that scrap for something more worthwhile. Definitely not blowing on a more or less useless bridge to nowhere, which is basically what that is. If you're going to play this game, don't blow that. Don't save up for that and then blow it on that, because it's not really worth it. I'm even going to put this stuff up because it's not really going to be necessary for us to hold on to, and it'd be nice to have in storage. So anyway, that was this session. It was fun. Probably going to record another session sooner than you might think. Don't know when I'm going to upload these, but like I said, they're not Rumble exclusive. This will be on my gaming YouTube channel and on my Rumble YouTube channel, both. Probably contemporaneously, like I'll probably upload episode 1 to 1, 2 to, you know, 1 to 1, and then 1 to the other, and then 2 to both, and then 3 to both, etc. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. See you next time whenever we get into another session.